Don't mind me, I'm just sitting on my floor next to my snake plant. Hello, welcome to Dishing Delights. My name is Jenica and today I'm going to share with you 3 shelf-stable pantry meals. Today I'm making chicken noodle soup, a chicken enchilada skillet, and I'm also making venison and gravy over mashed potatoes. All 3 of these meals have all shelf-stable ingredients. I have a playlist linked down below that has 2 more videos just like this one. I think it's very important to have a diverse pantry and to also utilize that pantry and keep it rotating, and these meals help you do just that. These meals are also great in emergency situation. I make sure that I only use 1 burner for each one of these meals. That way, in case you need to use a rocket stove or some sort of camp stove, you are able to do that. So let's get to it. We're gonna start off with the chicken noodle soup. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my heat on a medium heat. And then I'm going to take my canned chicken. And I am going to dump each can in. After that, I'm going to take my can of sliced carrots. And I'm going to add that in as well. Right here, I'm going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. And a little bit of celery seed. We want to get that celery flavor in this dish, even though we are not using fresh ingredients. I'm not going to add salt to this dish because this is going to be salty enough, but I am going to add some pepper. I'm going to kind of break this chicken up just a little bit. Now I'm just going to take this box of chicken broth and I'm going to add that in. If you have canned homemade broth, then add that in. That would be so delicious. So that just took like 2 minutes to put all those ingredients together. We are going to heat this up until it's simmering, and then I'm going to add the egg noodles. Alright, I think that it is, yep, it's almost perfect. This smells so delicious. Now I am going to take 8 ounces, which is half of this egg noodle bag. I'm going to add that into this. Now I always keep these rubber bands that you get off of produce, especially asparagus, and I always tie my egg noodles up with them. We eat a lot of asparagus, so we get a lot of them. Ooh, it's boiling. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. Ooh. This smells absolutely amazing. You would not know that this was made out of canned chicken. Whoa! Alright, now this is done, so I'm going to take it off of the heat. It's been exactly 20 minutes, and it's finished. So quick and easy. I love that. I'm just going to kind of let this cool down. I'm going to take it off of this burner until we're ready to serve it up. Now for our chicken noodle soup. Now this will definitely be chicken and noodles the next day because the noodles will absorb all of that goodness. But this is what's for dinner. Oh, I really wish that I had oyster crackers right now. Or some saltines. Wow. This is delicious. I'm actually quite shocked. I'm gonna be a little upset if my husband says that this is better than my homemade chicken noodle soup, but he might. This turned out really well. I'm gonna add a couple tablespoons of oil. This is optional. I am then gonna take 2 packs of my rice pasta sides and add that into this. Along with 4 cups of chicken broth. I am also going to add in my canned chicken, my can of diced green chilies, one can of red enchilada sauce. You can use green as well. I just need to use this up. And 1 can of rinsed and drained black beans. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stir this, and then I will cover it just over medium heat. And then I'll cover this I always use a lid that I can see through when I'm cooking dishes on the stovetop. I don't want it to stick to the bottom, so every few minutes I'm just gonna take my spatula and kind of guide it along the bottom of the Dutch oven. Now that it's boiling, I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit more. And this should come together rather quickly now. Now that rice is almost cooked through. So I'm gonna let it sit on the stove simmering for about 4 more minutes. All right, this has been going for 20 minutes now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the heat off and then just let this cool down a bit. I was worried that it was going to be a little too runny, but honestly, I think that this may set up perfectly. All right, this has been cooling for about 15 minutes. Oh, that looks so good. Now, of course, I'm just keeping it shelf-stable ingredients, and if you want to add a can of corn, you can. You can add whatever you want into this, but I'm just gonna serve this as is. Now, you could serve this on a bed of lettuce. You can also serve this with any other vegetables. I'm just trying to use the shelf-stable ingredients. Now, I'm just gonna serve this up. You could also serve this next to refried beans. And that is a chicken enchilada skillet. I just gave you this whole spiel and I wasn't recording, so. Anyways, I took my leftover enchilada skillet and I put them in old Cool Whip containers. What I am going to do with these is I'm going to freeze them and use them for enchiladas or burritos. I may add cheese or corn or whatever else I want in the enchiladas or burritos, but it's really nice to have a base in the freezer. So stick around and I'm sure you'll see a video on what I do with leftover Tex-Mex food. But first I'm gonna try this out. Oh wow, very flavorful. I think if you added a can of corn in this, it would sweeten it up a bit, but this is really good. Of course you could add cheese or sour cream or whatever you had on hand, but for a shelf-stable emergency meal, this is a winner. What I am going to do here is I'm going to add my milk and water. I added 2/3 cup of, I'll leave the recipe in the description below because I'm confusing myself right now. And then we are just going to bring this up to a boil. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. Now clearly, because butter is not shelf stable, we're not gonna add the 1/4 cup of butter that this calls for. Ooh, I do have some ghee. So I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of this ghee. Wow, that actually tastes pretty delicious. This is the glass container I'm going to transfer the potatoes into when they're done. So I'm just realizing that I wasn't supposed to add the milk in at that time. So we're just going to pray for the best here. Alright, now that it is boiling, I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to add in my potato flakes. And when it is done, I'm going to completely pull this off of the heat. Now, if this was an emergency situation, you may not be able to wash out your pan. All right, so this pan is off the heat. What I am going to do is I'm going to take my meat and I'm going to try to get it out of there. Turn my heat on. Medium high. Wow, this smells amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a tablespoon of cornstarch and like, I don't know, a quarter cup of water. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the liquid from one of the canned vegetables. I'm actually going to add both. And heat that up to a boiling point. This has me so excited to can some venison this year. Now I'm going to add that cornstarch slurry, about half of it. I'm going to add the rest of it. Alright, now I'm going to set this aside, and I'm just going to dump those mixed veggies. I'm just going to dump the mixed veggies in here. I'm just going to add some garlic and herb seasoning to these veggies. Now you can use any veggies. I just chose mixed veggies. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably wouldn't do that again just because these already have potatoes in it. I probably would just mix like a can of corn and a can of carrots or some green beans or something like that. I have made a mess of the stove. Alright, this is heated through. I'm just going to set this here and we are going to dish this up. Alright, let's serve it up. Let's start with the instant mashed potatoes. I'm going to make a little indent for the gravy. Oh my goodness, amazing. And then these vegetables. I mean, does it get any better than that? Now clearly there's so much sodium in these meals that I am making. These are not everyday meals. These are emergency meals. I feel like I need to clarify that because I'm gonna be like 10 pounds puffier after I eat these 3 meals. Oh my gosh. So good, I forgot to take a picture. All right, I'm gonna do that. I love that I have cornstarch all over my shirt. Amazing. Why is this so good? Try this one. It's delicious. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, please hit the subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my next video. Thanks for watching.